Hello friends, there's something I really need to get off my chest. It's this banana from earlier. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about sub-rogue talents, mainly in terms of PvP, but I really want to talk about one thing that I've noticed about a talent that is very misleading, and to make sure you guys don't make the same mistakes that I did. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Today, Raid just came out. It's Tuesday, the season started. Lots of exciting things going on. Really quick, what the video is going to contain is basically a PvP talent overview. Not the PvP talents, but our normal talents in PvP scenarios. I want to talk about each of them. And also, really quick, I get this question like 50 times in every video. This enchant is called Glorious Tyranny. It was from getting Duelist in Mist Pandaria or something like that. It's no longer obtainable. Sorry to break it to you guys, but yes, that enchant is called Glorious Tyranny. So I guess we can just kind of dive right into it. We're going to go through each tier, do a quick little analysis, and kind of explain my thought process behind choosing each of these. Maybe situations where they would be good, legendaries they could synergize with, all that kind of stuff. So let's jump into it. All right, so looking in the first tier, we're working with Weapon Master, Premeditation, and Gloom Blade. My first thoughts were Weapon Master. This is going to give you some really chunky burst whenever you proc these random 15% double hits. But then again, you know, PvP talents that are unreliable and kind of RNG based aren't really the best to go in my opinion. Although it could work out and it could add a lot of damage, I think you're going to get way more value out of taking one of these. In terms of Gloom Blade, the only problem I really have here is that it replaces Backstab, and in reality, we don't actually use Backstab a lot. Even on our downtime, we're usually either going to be going for re-stealths, we're looking to peel, we're getting ready to set something else up, we might be using Shuriken Storm. It's just not that much of an ability that gets use, so that's the only reason I'm not a super fan of this. The choice that I really want to always go with here is Premeditation. Basically, as a sub-rogue, every single time you're going to be bursting, you're going to have Shadow Dance up. And every time you have Shadow Dance up, you're going to use Shadow Strike. With the way Premeditation works, this basically guarantees every single burst window you go into that you will have Slice and Dice rolling for that extra melee damage. But on top of that, the talent is so great that even if you already have a Slice and Dice up, you're still going to get value out of it through the bonus combo points you generate. So for this tier, I just want to say, it's most likely a no-brainer to take pre-med, although you might see people messing around with Weapon Master. And I mean, Gloom Blade, it's not that terrible. It just won't get a lot of use. So in the second tier, this is where things are going to get a little bit more complex, and this is kind of what brought me to the idea of making this video. And that's because basically all of these options in one way or another could be viable, but I feel like there is a set line of synergy between this tier and the 45 tier that can absolutely work well together. So what I mean by this is if you see Night Stalker is going to give you a nice damage bonus during Shadow Dance, and Dark Shadow's also going to give you a damage bonus during Shadow Dance. So if you take two of these, you're going to have a lot of bursts, but the problem is you're only going to have one Shadow Dance charge. So when it comes to multi-stunning in Arena, and what I mean by this is cheap-shotting multiple people during your Shadow Dance for your, let's say you're playing Rogue Mage, for your Mage to get follow-up CC off of, you're not going to have a lot of access to that. So I told myself, if you're going to play Night Stalker, then you should play Enveloping Shadows as well. This way you'd have two Shadow Dances, and without the Subterfuge, you can still have the damage bonus, but you would have access to more multi-stuns. And now what I did is I decided, well, you can kind of reverse the combo if you go Dark Shadow, which looks like it gives much more damage. I mean, 30% compared to 12% on Night Stalker. Why would it not be better to just go Dark Shadow, not have two Shadow Dance charges, and then just have Subterfuge? That way, whenever I vanish, whenever I open up on the original opener, or whenever I get a re-stealth, I can just do multi-stuns off of that. So I had been running Subterfuge in Dark Shadow. The longer I've been playing Sub-Rogue into Shadowlands, I started to realize, through people's suggestion, through others oh my god. As I've been playing Sub-Rogue through Shadowlands, through other people's suggestions and comments, I started to look a lot more into Dark Shadow, and I realized that this talent is actually incredibly misleading, and I know, I won't even say most. I know a lot of people know this already, but if you're like me, you may have had no idea that Shadow Dance baseline increases damage by 15%. So this talent, in reality, even though it's worded that Shadow Dance now increases damage by 30%, it's actually only 15% more damage. It basically takes your initial 15 and turns it into 30. It doesn't actually add 30% more damage. Like I said, I know a lot of you think I'm stupid and probably already knew this, but I think this is a very genuine, common mistake and something that's really misleading that people might run into. So I think it's really important to address this. And after realizing this, you can basically realize, unless you're doing some kind of crazy build where you're taking both damage talents in the 25 and 45 tier, you're almost always going to be better going enveloping with Night Stalker as a duo versus Subterfuge Dark Shadow. And the reason for this is because Night Stalker adds a raw 12% damage to your Shadow Dance. So if we want to do some math here, this talent will bring your Shadow Dance damage to 30% total. Night Stalker will bring your Shadow Dance damage to 27% total. So you're only losing 3% damage on Shadow Dance, but you're gaining an entire new Shadow Dance just for losing Subterfuge, which is going to be way more valuable. Not to mention, Enveloping also is going to take time off of our Shadow Dances farther through finishers. With that big mess cleared up, we can clear up the rest of the talents here. A lot of these choices still tend to be pretty simple compared to the more complex issue I just kind of covered, but we'll still cover them up. So in the 30 tier, I think by far you're going to get a lot more value out of Mark for Death, depending on the type of player you are. This spell not only is a really great tool in burst windows for getting an extra quick eviscerate out, but if you are playing sub rogue, you're going to be using your kidney shot ideally to CC the enemy healer, and Mark for Death is great for that. You can be in any situation. If you need a kidney shot on a healer, you can already have 2 combo points, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Mark for Death kidney, the healer is stunned for 6 seconds. The amount of instant, guaranteed, reliable value you can get out of this talent on a 30-second cooldown is just insane. Not to say that these are useless at all, but this one is very, very valuable. If I did have to pick out of these two, I would say you'll probably get more long-time value out of Deeper Stratagem, and then maybe in a shorter window, Vigor. But once again, definitely Mark for Death for me here. In terms of the 35 tier, I think all 3 talents could be viable, honestly. Elusiveness could be useful in some type of team comp where you can really, really predict the enemy team's burst. You could pre-feint, but I think overall, you're going to get so much healing value out of Soothing Darkness that it's really hard to turn down. Not only when you're in stealth, but also when Shadow Dance is active, you're going to be getting so much self-healing just funneled into you. Cheat Death, obviously, this is more of a noob-friendly talent. If you're somebody who might get caught off guard and you want that extra 1 second of breathing time after you make a mistake, this one's obviously not going to be useless, but it's not going to be, you're not going to get as much value out of it. That's all. Moving into the 40 tier, looking through here quickly, Night Terror is probably not going to be very valuable here. This looks like some weird kiting, maybe rated battleground ability. Shot in the dark. After entering Stealth or Shadow Dance, your next cheap shot's free. I would say maybe this one could be useful, but since we run Master of Shadows, we're going to gain energy when we go into Shadow Dance. So since we're running this, I don't think we really need this. We're just going to overcap energy. Prey on the Weak is going to make you and your targets do 10% more damage during Cheaper Kidney. This is definitely going to be the pick for me, and it's hard to really say the other ones are even close to as valuable as this. Now, wrapping it up on the 50 tier, as I just previously stated, Master of Shadows is definitely the way to go. I haven't used Secret Technique in PvP, but I really can't imagine why it would be more valuable than MOS. Shuriken Tornado, once again, this one's kind of goofy. I mean, how much damage are you going to really do getting a couple of these off? I mean, obviously the squirrel gets hit for 58k, but that is not a player. I would probably go MOS here, although I have no idea how Secret Technique performs in PvP. Now, I guess to wrap up the video, we could also cover PvP talents really quick. I think these are very obvious and you shouldn't have to go too into depth. I go with Shadowy Duel, Cold Blood, and Smoke Bomb. If we look at the other available options, Death from Above could definitely be a cool little tool. The cool thing about Death from Above is that you can actually use this to dodge CC. It's sort of similar to a Demon Hunter's Metamorphosis. When they're in the process of the mid-air leap for like that 1 second, same with the DFA, the second you go up in the air and shoot back, you're basically immune to crowd control. So if a mage is casting Poly on you and you hit DFA, you're going to immune his Polymorph. So it's a cool utility tool, but these 3, you're going to get so much value out of them that it just might not be that great of a pick. because of that reason. In terms of the other ones, none of them stand out too much. I mean, in BGs and World PvP, this one might be kind of fun. But I've never wanted to change my honor talents. I have a lot of fun with these. If you guys have any other ones that you really like to mess around with, let me know in the comments below. Anyways, guys, I hope this quick video can kind of help you stay on top of your PvP talents. The main reason I wanted to put this one out there is because earlier I had mentioned that Subterfuge and Dark Shadow is the way to go. Obviously, I was very, very misled by Dark Shadow, and I think that the combo of Enveloping and Night Stalker is 100% going to be the way to go. Things are, of course, due to change. Shadow Focus, the only reason I don't think that you should take this one over Night Stalker, by the way, is because I feel like it just really helps to have the damage bonus. It'll really stand out in PvP. If you're looking all-term, long-term DPS, obviously Shadow Focus and PvE is more valuable, but I think in PvP, Night Stalker for sure. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to catch me live on stream, you can find me on twitch.tv/ipalamore. If you have any other questions, leave it in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.